So there's actually a lot of new changes coming for this new season. I wasn't expecting it to begin with, but scrolling down this thing, there is a lot we want to go over, and I figured we'd just go over it. I'll give my takes on it, and we can all move on with our lives until tomorrow once the patch does hit, which I think I'll be streaming it over at twitch.tv/Ottr. Make sure to stop on by. Anyways, we have heard about Revenant's abilities already. His passive allows him to highlight nearby enemies who are low health. He crouch walks faster, and he has improved wall climbing. He also has pounce as a tactical now. He can jump forward. He can charge to jump even farther. And his ultimate adds a Shroud of Hardened Shadows, which gives him extra armor. If you deal more damage, or rather, if you get more kills, you get more armor, which is cool. Supposedly, or not even supposedly, it says right here, your shadows and tactical is refresh knockdowns, so you can just bounce around the place and have a lot of fun with him. Really excited to see him come out. As for the map rotation, we're seeing Broken Moon, King's Canyon, and Olympus, which I'm not happy about. I want World's Edge back. That's not a poggers. That is very far from a W, guys. I'm not gonna lie. But there are some more advanced changes as well, and I would like to try and explain them, because these are, generally speaking, pretty large changes that I really want to go over and try to break down as much as I can. Again, it's a fairly long patch notes with a lot of implications, so we're just going to dive into it. As I said, ring behavior across maps in the BR has been updated with targeted tunings, including ring size damage and timings to several game phases to improve pacing in the early and mid game. Here's an in-depth look. Also, not a big fan of them doing this like a few weeks before champs, but the changes probably had to be made. Respawn has gone on record and said that we don't want the ALGS crafting stuff out of the zone to be the common way to play. So they're trying to fix that. Ring 1 has increased 10% in radius per map, resulting in a 20% larger Ring 1 surface area. And they haven't changed the nether sizes. But the damage for Ring 2 is now 4 per tick, and the damage for Ring 4 is now 20 instead of 15 per tick. This obviously means that the timing for when you should heal is different, but I don't know the math. I'll have to make a new TikTok about that. I'm actually going to write that down. Okay, there we go. So I just have that. I normally do this when I make videos, so it saves time. Timing changes. Round 1. Okay, so this is where it starts changing a lot, and I'm going to throw the numbers at you, and even I won't get a good idea of how it feels once you're in game. We'll know tomorrow. Pre-shrink time reduced from 90 seconds to 75 seconds. It's noticeable. That's a noticeable amount. Shrink speed on small maps reduced. Shrink speed on large map reduced. Shrink time standardized to 260 seconds per map. So going from round 1 to round 2, I think. Round 1 to round 2, yeah. Pre-shrink time, for those who don't know, is the time between you see the ring and then before it starts closing, or shrinking as they call it. The shrink speed has been reduced and the shrink time has been increased 25 per map. So that's cool, okay. So it seems to be that it starts closing faster. It closes a bit smaller, or rather it closes slower. It does end with the games ending earlier. You can also see that once you start looking towards round 3 and 4, where pre-shrink time reduced from 135 to 90. That is a massive change. 45 seconds cut down. Round 4 down to 90 from 105. Shrink speed reduced and shrink time increased. So it makes it a bit slower still. But again, a lot of the decisions are made before the ring starts closing. So this gives you way less time to maneuver around. And again, the overall length of the game will change. It actually says right here, maximum match length has been shortened. Small maps to 19 minutes. Large maps reduced to 20 minutes from 21 versus 22 respectively, which doesn't matter because everyone dies in round 2 anyways. It's good to see that they try. It's good to see that they try at the very least. So they've gone through all of the rank changes. We are not going to dive into it. I think we made a video about it. We did. So we're skipping that. They're also changing here. The LP table adjusted. LP gain overall has been reduced. Diamond Plus cost adjustments. 50% increases losses. So you'll lose more RP. You'll lose more RP. See it down here. 75. Minus 75 on 20th place. A small portion of elimination bonus is exempted from bonus withholding due to mismatched MMR and LP. This value increased based on the player's MR. Okay, so you get less skill points if your MR and LP is very different. So if you're a Predator player, but you're in Bronze, you won't get the extra points from eliminations. Skill rating bonuses have been dramatically reduced. Yep. And yeah, that was it for ranks. Those are cool skins. Let's dive into the actual meat of this patch, because some of this stuff is really interesting to say the least. Armor changes, white to Evo, points required to 200 from 150, which this is a large amount. You don't think about it. Oh, I was going to mention the crafter. Actually, the crafter also has been increased, but if you shoot, like 150 felt really easy to get. Just have to crack or knock a person. Now you have to work a little bit extra for it. So it will change the flow a tiny bit in order to get armors. Fixed overflow damage on level up applies to the next tier. So I assume this means that if I hit a Kraber headshot, that will actually overflow to next tier, which is cool. I don't think it did previously. If you had, in this case, 199, it now will go over to the next, to level up the next level. Okay, so we have the crafting rotation, Rampage, and R9. Leave the crafter, they're back on the floor. The R99 is actually really good. You guys just forgot about it because everyone's been hyping up every other SMG other than R99. There are nerfs to the SMGs, we'll get to it, but a lot of people were constantly telling me how the R99 wasn't that good, or the SMGs are that much better. You just forgot how good this thing is. I've crafted it many times. Nemesis and Mozambique with Hammer Point enter the crafter. Double tap trigger and Hammer Point rounds removed from rotation. That's interesting. Boosted loader and disruptor rounds. Okay. Added to rotation. Medikit price increased to 20. So they really want to crack down on crafting, which is no surprise. Care package weapon rotation. Hemlock burst AR returns to the floor. ADS recoil increased. Damage reduced to 22. Headshot multiplier reduced as well. So dealing less damage. And the Prowler enters the care package with a damage buff. Select fire enabled default into full auto. So this means, I think we were at 75 per burst, which means we are now at, yeah, because it's 5. I'm not good with math, guys. Wait, no, 5 by 15. Okay, yeah. So now it's 5 by 16. I don't know if this is a noticeable number. The previous one was 80. Not really, but it still will make it hit harder, but you can still triple burst a team or someone. If you do triple burst, it's 240 damage now. That's still enough for red armor, nevertheless, but it does give you some leeway if you miss, I guess, 2 bullets or so. 1 or 2 bullets. The golden rotation, Hemlock, Peacekeeper, Alternator, Rampage, Charge Rifle. Oh, Charge Rifle. But we're getting changes to that as well, so it's okay. Blue and purple weapon attachment spawn rate reduced by 20%. Blue and purple armor spawn rate reduced by 30%. This is interesting. So this is just, they're changing the meta a little bit. They're tweaking these numbers a bit. I can't help but to think that the whole thing with spawning in items had an effect to all of this. We'll simply have to wait and see. Either way, now let's take a look at some more tangible things, some less meta-analysis and boring things like that where I'm trying to big brain it. And we're just going to be looking at the actual upcoming changes. As you guys know, the Charge Rifle got a rework. New ballistics and projectile. It's not a projectile. It's not hit scan, which I accidentally said last video. It has no more pre-fire laser. Instead, you will have a charge up and then it throws the projectile at him. Projectiles have player pass-through, 80% damage retained, so you can just rail an entire team. That came out wrong. Opens doors. Okay, good to know. I have so many old TikToks that I need to revision now. Projectiles gain damage with distance. What? This is interesting. So if you shoot someone at 50 meters, it will deal 75 damage. If you shoot someone at 300 meters, it will deal 110 damage. This is a little bit different than the nerf, or rather the leaks I'd heard where it was supposed to deal 150. Maybe it deals 150 at 1,000 meters. Who knows? Maybe there's a graph. We'll see. New charge mechanics. Holding the trigger down will increase charge. Releasing the trigger will decrease charge. Fires at 100% charge. So that sounds like the Havoc. You can still edge it and tease it a little bit. Just touch the trigger a little bit. And then it'll go off when it hits the limit. And it now takes a extended sniper mag. 4, 5, 6, and 8 shots respectively. It shoots 1 shot instead of 2. Handling timing's adjusted, so it's faster to do a tactical reload and also faster to do an empty reload of 5. So 0.5 both ways. So let's check out the SMG nerfs because everyone's talking about them. Everyone says that's the assist or the controller nerf everyone's talking about. It's not, but it is going to be a nerf to that specific playstyle. All SMGs are R99 car, Volt, whatever. Strafe speed ADS has been reduced to 0.75, was 0.85. For reference, if you guys don't know how much this is, the R301, I just looked this up, is 0.5 ADS. And an LMG would be probably along the lines of, I'm just guessing a number, 0.4, 0.3 maybe? We'll see. I'm curious. 0.1. Oh, that's a different one. Sorry. 0.4. Okay, so in between. That's cool. So that's really cool to see. We'll see how much it changes. I feel like the Wingman probably needs that as well if you're cutting down on all of the whole playstyle. We'll see. Headshot multi reduced to 1.25. Okay. And then we're seeing some specific nerfs to the R99, which was way overtuned. I will own up to that. It is a good gun. Again, probably was one of the best guns at the time. Vertical recoil slightly increased. Ammo capacity reduced. They're pulling the old ammo capacity nerf. Base ammo changed to 17, 20, 23, and 26. So basically down 1 bullet, except base ammo, which is 17. Dude, you cannot do a lot with 17 bullets, I'll tell you that much. Spitfire can now take a barrel stabilizer. ADS recoil improved, and hipfire spread slightly improved. Ooh, I really hope they don't overtune the Spitfire. I don't want to see that come back. The massive blast pattern has been tightened. That's cool to see. And then we're seeing the boosted loader come back. Okay. So if you reload when the magazine is almost empty, it will speed up reloading and overload the next magazine with 9 versus 3 shots respectively. Disrupt the rounds for the alternator and the Peacekeeper. God damn. Okay, I wonder if there's going to be any more nerfs to the Peacekeeper. There's not? Okay, so they're not changing the Peacekeeper any other way. They're just adding shield damage per pellet, increased 25%. I think we're looking at a shotgun meta here, boys. Some people even say Gibraltar. I don't know if that's getting ahead of things, but I was already running the Peacekeeper a lot, and now I'm definitely going to keep running it. They removed the double trigger, no surprise there. And the frag grenade outer radius increased to 350 units from 320, and inner radius increased, so it deals more damage, basically. Or, yeah, if you get closer, or rather, if you are within its range, it will take more damage from it. Okay, so let's move on. Let's take a look at the Legend. This is a really big patch. It didn't feel like it. Everyone's saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal, but like meta-wise, this is pretty significant. I'm not going to lie. Revenant has been reborn. Updated class to Skirmisher was Assault. New ability, see above. Respawn seems to want to make something happen with ultimates. I feel like they want to see ultimates revamped in general. So we're just going to go through them individually. Bangalore Rolling Thunder has gotten a minute longer of a cooldown. Dark Veil's gotten 30 seconds. Gibraltar's ultimate, which I think was one of the longest in the game, it actually was the longest in the game, now the lifeline was buffed, was reduced by 90 seconds. So it seems like you're trying to standardize it. Black Hole has been raised. Black Market Boutique has been raised. Ultimate Accelerants have been buffed for Loba. Mad Maggie Wrecking Ball has been raised. Yeah, like these all over the place. No more 90-second ultimates, I think. I might be missing one or two, but that seems to be the gist of it. Pathfinder's Zipline Gun. Okay. So they're raising that one by 60 seconds as well, and that sucks. But Wraith gets a buff, so that's cool to see. Ooh, Seer Nerfs. Slow duration reduced to 0.5 seconds. Yeah, you were slow for 2.5 seconds, so it's just a half a second. Silence duration reduced to 8 from 10. And firing speed, as in how long it takes to blow up, I think, increased to 1.4 from 0.9 seconds. So that's a lot more dodgeable. These are good changes. I'm really curious to see how it will play out once we jump into the games. Broken Moon, don't care. Multiple rat spots removed on Kings Canyon. You hate to see it. Smooth legend movement on road edges. That's a good idea because there is a lot of road edges that are horrible. Crafting workbenches serve biggest ring consoles. Removed exclusion radius that cause some POIs to get these objects more than others. All POIs now have equal chance of receiving a ring console, survey beacon, or crafting workbench. Equal chance. This is huge for competitive. This is genuinely like a massive competitive change. Don't think it will matter for like you guys playing pubs. You're going to drop anywhere anyways. But again, for comp, for champs, I'm really excited to see how that's going to change things up. We're seeing some changes to control, capture bonus button to reduce, score. I don't really know how control works, so we're just going to go through that. Doesn't seem to be any bug fixes that are super important that we're going to have to bring up, so we're just going to skip that. Audio, fixed animations, not playing audio in rare cases. Okay, we'll see about that. Improved prioritization for certain enemy movement sounds. Okay. Players' movement transitions no longer occasionally play duplicate audio events. So this could be huge, but I'm holding off. Every time you mention audio in the patch notes, I always get too excited, and every time I'm let down. So I'm not going to get excited this time. We're not going to get excited. SMG heavy ammo after being committed to going on this thing without light ammo. Oh, that's cool. Oh, these are just also some more not super important, actually. Scrolling through it real quick. Some quality of life changes. Sometimes they hide some important things here, so let's see. For example, they added a new Nessie to the firing range. That's what we needed. They added French people. And after grabbing the first banner support perk, you can now immediately grab the second one as well. That's going to feel a lot better. And that seems to be it. Some weapon mastery stuff, but again, quality of life doesn't matter. And anyways, those were all of the changes for the new season. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the subscribe. By the time this goes up, I might be live over at Twitch, over at twitch.tv/Ottr. So make sure to go check that out. Come say hi and watch me maul as I'm trying to have a good time playing in the last day of the season, which typically isn't a very good time. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.